All right, let's jump right on in. So I got these Unico router bits from Amazon here to the right, fairly inexpensive. And so I wanted to try something different outside of the traditional smooth shaker style doors. These give you kind of that raised panel look on the inside, that profile. And again, it's just one step above the traditional smooth finish shaker style doors, and I wanted to try that. So here I am about to set up my custom made router table to install my bits. I do prefer using the 1/2-inch shanks. This isn't something you want to try to do with the palm routers. They just don't run enough RPMs. And so I'm running a Triton router with 1/2-inch shanks. I just feel like more power, more RPMs, a smoother finish. When I originally created this table, I was using the 1/4-inch shanks, and so my hole that I made there wasn't big enough for these new shanks, and I'm just using this router bit to basically trim out my hole and make it a smooth clearance for my router bit while I'm running everything through. Just cleaning it up here, so nothing fancy about that at all. And here you can just see I'm just raising it slowly up and down just to make sure it has good clearance. So now that we're all set up, I wanted to use my combination square to line up my fence. You don't necessarily have to use a fence. I find it better because your dust collection, for one. Not only that, you want to have some type of security to help you run your materials along, even though these router bits do come with the bearing. So like I said, you don't need it. It just makes it a lot easier, in my opinion, to run your material through. And so here's my first pass ever using these bits. And of course, before I start, this is a scrap piece. Before I actually started running the material that I'm actually gonna use through here, that's the look I'm going for. I adjusted my bit as I needed, and I was doing it off the camera, testing and stuff like that. I do recommend using a feather board. It just helps keep everything nice and tight. I wish I would have, you can see that little gap down there at the left. I wish I would have clamped another one on top to keep everything pressed down a little bit. Door still came out great, but I think that would have helped. There's a few small imperfections that I noticed, and watching this video, I was able to see why it was doing that. Now I'm swapping out for my tongue bit right here. And this one's a little bit trickier because you can't use, a feather board against this. So I think I do want to invest in a miter gauge to kind of help keep everything aligned right there. And you can kind of see how it got wavy right there. But just something to help me keep that straight. So if you guys have any advice on that, I'd highly appreciate that. And there it is. That's what you want right there. And it kind of snaps into place. It feels so nice and snug. And I really, really liked how that felt, as opposed to running it off the table saw, because sometimes it's a little loose in there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sand down all of those imperfections, my edges and stuff, because it'll be much easier to do it now as opposed to when the doors are together. And that's one thing too. I don't know if it's because of the blades I'm using, the bits that I'm using, that I had so much of that rough edge, but they're brand new blades. Or so I'm still playing with it. I want to figure that out, because I'm only making 4 doors here, and I can imagine if I had to do any more than that, that's a lot more work than I want to have to do with something that's supposed to make my life easier. But the big plus I love about this, as opposed to the table saw, it's like these pieces, they just snap into place to give you this seamless look right here. And here's the finished product right here. Like I said, it looks like one solid piece all the way through on the surface, on the edge. You can't tell that that's 2 pieces right there. Anyway, let me know what you guys think and any advice that you have. Thanks.